I'm going to go live here in just a few minutes, a few seconds here. All right. All right, we are live. So thank you again for joining. If you are on, if you would like me to share out any of the PowerPoint or any supporting documents, please put your name and your email address in the chat box, and I will make sure to get that back to you as soon as we're done with today's E2020. Okay, thank you for joining. Let me know if you're unable to see the screen. All right, I am Rachel Johnson. I'm the Yellow Ribbon Outreach Coordinator for Minnesota. I've provided both my email addresses, and when I email back to you, it will probably be coming from my Gmail account. Okay. This first slide here discusses our military connected storyline and how everything started and how it's been progressing throughout the state. In 1996, the San Diego 1 VA Community Advocacy Board met, and Minnesota was at that table, and that's where the Military Family Care Initiative really started to come into fruition. And then in 2005, the Minnesota National Guard established Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, and then in 2008, our first Minnesota Beyond the Yellow Ribbon community and company were proclaimed, which was Farmington and Target. And then in 2010, the Minnesota Military Family Care Initiative joined the BTYR. And that's also in the year when Annette Kuiper was hired to work on our Yellow Ribbon community side and our company side, along with 12 other Yellow Ribbon outreach coordinators to get our our armories up and going in those communities. And as you can see, we've just kind of progressed throughout the years. And where we're at right now is in fall 2020 with E2020, our virtual event that the Minnesota Military Veteran Exchange is doing. And so super excited that we're here. And then also we just hired on our soldier and family readiness specialists that are currently getting onboarded. So some statistical data that I just wanted to share is we have 98 networks throughout the state of Minnesota. In a network, we call them networks versus cities or counties, just because a network could be multiple cities and multiple counties that come together to provide support within an area. And then we have 74 Yellow Ribbon companies throughout the state as well. And what our networks provide is not just what our networks provide, but also a lot of our military and veteran connected service organizations throughout the state also provide. And so we're all working on the same thing as communication, awareness and advocacy, connection to community resources, that volunteerism, financial assistance, and education and training. And I wanted to make sure that we just included our service organizations as we're all working together and coming together. And that's why it's just so important to mention that it's not just our networks, but it's also our service organizations that we do work together. And so one of the things that we have we're really hardwiring in is our networks and our support systems. And so we're making sure that our networks and our service organizations are really connected with our soldier and family readiness specialists. And those are the ones that work with our service members directly and our county veteran service officers, making sure that we're really connecting them in and looking at our social determinants of health on each of those, or the total force fitness is what you see on the military side. And so making sure that we're really working together and looking at the whole person and not just a situation. Some of the initiatives that we're working on and really trying to come together as a community within each of our areas is with our veteran resource stand downs, which E2020 is one of them, our career fairs, connecting our veterans and service members and their families to our community resources, events, providing golf tournaments, Freedom Fest, annual dinners, etc., to provide that awareness, but also to provide raise money to help with financial assistance where needed, education and awareness in school districts during Veterans Day, Memorial Day, or their annual community celebrations, graduation in courts and flags for our seniors that are entering into the military. care packages for families or for deployed soldiers. We know that when one is deployed, that our families are back here and maybe struggling with just having that person gone. And so like really trying to get back to the family as well as the soldier that is away. We do have military kids clubs throughout the state due to COVID. Some of that has kind of slowed down some. We provide volunteerism for like lawn maintenance, snow removal, house repair, etc. Transportation has been one that some have been able to provide as well. And then providing that financial assistance to our county veteran service officers and our soldier and family readiness specialists for certain things such as gas cards, grocery cards, etc. One of the things that we do twice a year is joining community forces. At this meeting, we try to bring in training and education, providing new solutions for support pieces and issues, implementing standards of practice, providing roundtable discussion, and then networking. Some of the things that we worked in our 2020 strategic plan, and as we move forward, we're going to be growing off of this, but really working on our support and assist, connection, communication, and awareness, and really trying to bring everybody together and working on that back end. And now in 2021 and into the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to be coming up with specific strategies that we're looking for our networks to do. And you'll see that in a little bit here too on like what we're working on. But some of our highlights included like regionalizing the state, and we'll show you a map of what that looks like. We started our bi-weekly coffee talks, development of resource guides during COVID and beyond, development of point of contact booklets, so not just to our networks, but also to our county veteran service officers, our unit reps, and our soldier and family readiness specialist. And as we go forward, some of the comments that came back from our joining community forces this last week was how can we get connected in with the other military branches throughout the state. And so that will be one of the things too that we'll be working on into 2021 is who are those point of contacts and how do we get connected with them as well. So with our regional structure, what we're really trying to do is provide that purpose and value of what is needed and how we can help support one another. So we're doing quarterly meetings with our key stakeholders, which include our networks, our unit reps, our county veteran service officers, our soldier and military readiness specialists, and our military and veteran exchange leads. And I'll get into that in just a little bit about what they do. And then what we're really trying to do is provide that value back to our networks and to the people at the table. And the key stakeholders might be what you see now, but like in the coming months or even the coming year, we hope to expand that out to, well, who are our key players in each of our regions. And what we're really trying to do is to ensure non-duplication of services, building that awareness, ensuring those regional resources, building relationships with one another, and then increase communication and awareness along with accountability. And what that's doing is that's creating that value or that collective impact to make sure that we're all going in the same direction and that we're not going all over the place. So basically really providing that focus and that resource of this is what we're doing and this is how we're moving forward, and that these are the people that are at the table. And then if they're not even at the table, who are they and how can we get connected with them so they know what we're all doing too. So our strategic alliances with our yellow ribbons are with our soldier and family readiness specialist, our county veteran service officers. Those are our primary alliances, as those are our first line of defense, making sure that we're getting out to them. Those community alliances, making sure that we're working with the MACV, the Career Force Center, the Lutheran Social Services within those areas, the VA, our vet centers, our American Red Cross, and then our yellow ribbon companies. And then lastly, our state alliances are with our Minnesota National Guard, as that's who I fall underneath. So making sure that they're at the table, building healthy military communities, Military One Source, and the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs, and then also the Minnesota Military and Veteran Exchange. This is how our state looks as of right now. So we've divided the state out into 14 specific regions. 10 are in outstate Minnesota and 4 within the metro. And what we're really trying to do there is to bring together the resources that are in each of those regions that are already working together. And so we had looked at different maps of what people are already doing, but then also how can we come together more cohesively with one another. And so I have an office at Camp Ripley and then also in St. Paul. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see the 14 areas where our support, we call them our support people, which is that military and families readiness specialists. That's where they're located at, and that they really want to work with our community resources too. And so we're working with them on our support piece too. So how does this all fit together? Well, this is how our organizational structure looks. I fall underneath the Minnesota National Guard Family Programs, underneath our Yellow Ribbon Reintegration Programming. And then this one shows how we've divided out the state. I work with all of those 14 regions with dotted lines to our Director of Military Outreach, our Soldier and Family Readiness Specialist, our County Veteran Service Officers, our unit reps, and everybody within family programs to ensure that we are providing as much support that is needed to our networks. And then this is what our typical network looks like. We always start with our community members. You bring it down to the board of directors, which brings it down to the committee, and then back down to the strategies of what they're working on. And so the board is a typical board. You have that chair, the vice chair, secretary, treasurer, past president, chair, or like a community liaison. And then the strategies, we broke it out into those 6 different areas that most organizations are working on, and this is what some of the pieces that they've worked on or are working on. So a lot of people are always wondering, what are the connection points and how can we get connected with what's happening throughout the state? We do a bi-weekly coffee talk every 2 weeks, which our next one will be November 4th and November 18th. A lot of times we bring, this is for anybody that's military connected. It's for our networks, our companies, our CVSOs, our unit reps, our service organizations, individuals, etc. Anybody can come on. We normally have a presenter that comes in to talk about their organization, and then we do roundtable discussion of what's happening, and that's always on a Wednesday from 8 to 9 in the morning. And then we do our quarterly regional meetings that I had discussed earlier, bringing those key resource stakeholders together. And then the military and veteran exchanges. This is what everybody calls the biggest bang for the buck. And this is for anybody and everybody that's military connected or veteran connected. We have businesses, we have organizations, we have yellow ribbon networks, yellow ribbon companies, our service organizations such as the VA, vet centers, etc., that come to these meetings within each of these regions. And what we're really trying to do is to share out the resources and identify the support that's needed within the area. And so the Twin Cities, all these will be virtual due to COVID. When we do meet, it's a little bit larger of a group, but I know the Twin Cities one, they usually have about 60 to 80 people that log into it. And when we meet live, we usually have over 100 people that attend. But the Twin Cities one will be on December 3rd. Region 5, which is Todd, Cass, Crow Wing, Morrison, and Wadena counties, is going to be on January 13th. St. Cloud, which is the 4-county region of Benton, Wright, Sherburne, and Stearns, will also meet on the 13th of January. And then South Central, that's actually a huge area. So it's almost the entire South Central area of Minnesota right now. As we grow that out, we'll be dividing that up as well. But they're going to be meeting on January 28th. And then the Duluth one, which is also called the ISFACT, They'll be meeting sometime between January and March of 2021, and that's the whole northeastern side of the state, northeastern upper side of the state. And then we also participate in the monthly suicide prevention coalitions. Those coalitions are also throughout the state. We have one in northeastern Minnesota, the Twin Cities, St. Cloud, and Monticello areas. And then also southern Minnesota is getting up and going, and northwestern Minnesota is getting up and going. If you're wanting to get connected with them, I know Jessie is on today, and I know she'll be able to get anybody connected to those. Our resource connection fairs, such as our stand downs like this, and then our spring and fall joining community forces. Some of our top needs that we are working on that we've seen through our soldier and family readiness specialist include finance, household and property, mental/behavioral health, our community resources, and our community partnerships. So we're really going to be working on strategies in the coming months here on how we can get this out to our networks and our service organizations on what the need is and how they can help support our service members, and then also working with our our county veteran service officers on that side of what are the top needs that they're seeing as well. Some of the resources that we are really pushing, especially due to COVID and some of those other pieces that are happening, is our Bridge to Benefits. This is an online eligibility tool to help determine if an individual may qualify for support benefits. And this support benefit is through the state of Minnesota only. It does not apply to Wisconsin or Iowa, North Dakota, or South Dakota, but people can put their information into this, and it will let you know if you qualify for like SNAP, energy assistance, MA, etc. And then you're able to fill out the application right online. My Healthy Vet is another online assessment tool that people can utilize to identify symptoms and to assist in determining if one should seek further evaluation. It'll go through about 5 or 6 questions, and then it will let you know if you should be in contact with somebody, and they'll provide you a number on who to connect with, and then the crisis line will also come up as well. And then last is Hunger Solutions and Second Harvest. Both of these resources provide connection to your local food shelves, those food banks, and those produce distributions, etc., when they're happening, and where you can get connected with them. And then we also have links into our point of contact sheets, our news and resource update email, where we ask people we use MailChimp, so it's quick and easy. Our Facebook, closed Facebook page, where people are able to put out their resources, and if they're looking for support needs, they can put stuff on there. Our resource guide and our food resource guide. And then last but not least is some more connection points here. November is the month of the military family, so asking people to look at the Minnesota National Guard Facebook page to get connected on some of the communicational pieces that they're putting out on that. We also know that there's other Facebook groups out there too that people can help share the word of the month of the military family. And then November 11th, Northern Dakota County is getting proclaimed, and that is Lilydale, Mendota Heights, and West St. Paul. So super excited that they'll be joining our network side of it. And then December is our holiday giving campaign. And so our networks and our service organizations throughout the state like to provide support during the holiday seasons to those that have loved ones that are deployed, or they're just looking at just wanting to give back to the families that have already given so much. So that's what I have today. Do you have any questions or comments or anything? If not, I will make sure to shoot you an email with the PowerPoint and some of our supporting documents as well. Just give you a second.
Good work, Rachel.
All right, thank you guys.
Say is